Hello everyone, my name is Harshvardhan and you're watching another WebGuy YouTube channel. Today, we are going to learn about type function, data type casting and input function of Python. So, roll up the intro and let's get started. And if you have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos. Before we begin, you need to know that Python is a dynamically typed language. That means if you have defined a variable as a list, say var is equal to 1, 2, 3, and now you want to assign it an integer, say var is equal to 3, Python have no problem with this. But you can't do this in other statically typed language like C or C++. But this may lead to an unexpected error. So we have to learn about type function. To verify the type of any object in Python, we need to know about type function. So let's take an example, say x is equals to 1. Now check the type of x. It is in form of integer. Now let's say y is equals to 2.8 and check the type of y. It is in form of float because we have discussed that the decimal point numbers are the form of floating point numbers. Now let's say z is equals to 1, 2, 3 in form of a list keeping in the square brackets. Check the type of z, it is a list. Now take another example, say d is equals to a is the key, 5 is the value, b is the key, 8 is the value, and check the type of d, it is a dictionary. DICT dict. Okay. Now let's move to the type conversion or type casting in Python. There may be times when you want to specify a type onto a variable. This can be done with casting. Python is an object-oriented language and as such it uses class to define data types, including its primitive types. Let's see them using example. At first, I need to define typecasting. Typecasting in form of markdown. Okay, so I'll say x is equals to 1. Check the type of x. It is a form of integer. Now, I want to convert it in form of float. I will say float. You can see that the color turns into green, that means it is a keyword, and now I will put x inside the parenthesis and let's run this. You can see that the output is 1.0 where we have defined 1 in the x. Now reassign it back to x. I will say x is equals to float. Check the type of x. It is in form of float. Take another example, say y is equals to 2.8 and I'll say integer casting of y and I will put it inside y. Check the type of y. It is in form of integer. Now let's check the value of y. It's 2. That means you have assigned the value 2.8 to y, but on conversion it into the integer, you got only the integer part, not the decimal part, which is 0.8. Okay, great. Now, another example, say z is equals to 3, but this 3 is in form of a string. Okay, check the type of z. It is in form of string, str. Okay. Now say I want to convert it in form of integer. So I will do integer casting of z and I'll put it back to z. Now check the type of z. It is in form of an integer. But you might be thinking, why do you want to convert a string to an integer? So you should know, in Python, user input is taken in form of a string. Let's take an example. At first, I will give a heading, user input. I will say name is equals to input. This is a function, and I have to specify a instruction to be given to the user. So I will say, what is your name? Now you can see that at first we got an instruction, so user have to follow that instruction, and I will say Harshvardhan. Okay, let's make it more beautiful. Okay, that looked great. Now I will check the type of name. It is in form of string. Taking another example, say var is equals to input, and I will specify an instruction. I'll say give me a dictionary, and I will do this. I will specify a key A, and value will be 7, and B value will be 3. Okay, now let's check the type of var, and I will check the type. It is in form of string. That means all the user input are taken in form of string. Now let's define another variable, say age, and you want to take user's age as an input. So I will say input, and I will give an instruction users, okay, users age. Okay, oops, great. Now I have to give some input. I'll say 25, and if I check the type of age, it is in form of string, not in form of an integer. But to perform any operation, you need this value in form of an integer. So we will do a type conversion or type casting in form of integer. Okay, so I will say integer, and I have to specify age because I want to convert age into the form of integer, and I will reassign it to age. Let's check the type of age. It is an integer. So that's all for this. See you in the next lecture.